Hello, hello. Sorry, hold on, I'm really thirsty. Oh, I've been really dehydrated lately. Not sure why. Maybe allergy, probably allergy stuff actually. But anyway, we need to do coal distribution today, which is going to be fun. Is technically a word. I don't know if it's the word I should use, but it is a word. That's all I can say about that. So we don't need this. Because that doesn't go in this stage. We also need to figure out how the power plant looks, but actually it probably is going to look like that. So then we can take, I'm very scared to do this, but we need to shift down most of this bottom section. We don't actually need to shift down most of the pipes though. Let's do it in parts, I think is our best bet. So we need to shift it down at least one tile. I might do two, because it doesn't make my base that much bulkier, and it gives me some wiggle room. I'm pretty confident that this is actually that's the wrong stage, but I mean we don't use it anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. Pretty confident we don't need this. I have not deleted it yet, just in case there's some off chance where I can use it for something. What is the? Oh, it's so it has prio. Ooh, that's smart. Who would have thought I actually have some things that are not terrible decisions. Brilliant, brilliant. I should have higher standards though. Okay. But yeah, I don't think there's much of a chance that we use this design for the stone. Because the thing is, its biggest advantage was it makes it flexible, so that way we can get all of the stone we need from the right if we need it. However, we redesigned it to use a stone train, so this can go much farther. Now this train, I feel like this train is cheap enough that I don't really need to I don't actually need to design this one to be trainless, I don't think. I can always deconstruct the train if I need it, but this doesn't save a ton of track or an entity, so I'll probably leave this one completely, because there's like 4 spots I can very easily connect stone if I need it, by just doing a manual connection, right? And then it'll go through the balancer after. So I think that's a good option if stone is close, because most of our designs are a little bit bulky and use like, I want to say it's pretty high. What does a cargo wagon cost? Let's see. So this costs 20 steel. So multiply that by 35. Multiply this by 5. We're looking at about 1,000 steel, and then like 500 iron, 500 gears, 500 engine, not 500 engines, 100 engines. So overall, like 600 gears and iron, maybe a little bit more, and then 1,000 steel for any train we don't need. So obviously we want to cut anything extra, because I think we only produce one wagon every, like, I don't know. We only produce a few a minute at max, so the more we can save, the better. Although I don't think our limiting factor is going to be wagons, and that is something that we can kind of speed up by not handcrafting, but throwing things in assembler and looting from chests. So we have those options. But yeah, we can save a lot of wagons by building close patches, building on far patches. And that just requires us to... Honestly, we don't necessarily have to delete the rails, do we? No, wait, we do, because this stuff... These don't have an easy out for manual connections. This side does... No, never mind. Neither of these have an easy out for converting this splitter to it. So yeah, we'll just have to delete the whole station. That's fine. That's not that important right now. Right now, I'm still trying to shift these down. Okay, so one of these... This is going to be a problem when we shift it down, I think. So there's going to be an underground through here, I think, which isn't inherently a problem. Let's see, what's the max distance this can be? That is the max distance. Okay, so yeah, that's not the end of the world. I could also put this on this side, but I think on this side makes a lot more sense. Hello, Vega. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we shifted that down. Now we can shift everything else. Yeah, we're just gonna do it in sections. So we're gonna do this down by 2 tiles. These all go down 1 tile. Oh, wait. Does that work? Huh. Okay, it's actually pretty smart. Cool. I wasn't sure how cutting... I wasn't entirely sure how cutting would work if I had to repaste it after. Okay, so this was here? Now it's here, right? Yeah, that looks right. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. And then don't know how that works. This goes down 1 tile. And the rest of it doesn't have to be moved. I think if we just force delete stuff, we're good. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff here that I didn't actually want to shift down 1 tile, so I probably should have just got rid of that. Oh well. I think everything here is fine. I mean, it seems like it mostly ended up on the correct stage, so that's what matters. This stuff is just markers for later. That's what most of these splitters are, if anyone's wondering. These are marking where I need a full lane and where I don't need a full lane. Okay, so this connection to iron, I think realistically will not be done using a coal splitter. I think this one will. But for our first lane, it is most likely not going to be using a splitter, so we need to change that. This is going to be using a coal... I remember now why I made it a splitter. Never mind, we're making a splitter. So basically, I can make this a little bit cheaper and a little bit faster to set up initially. I might do that anyway, but I think I'll use the coal splitter regardless. Because basically the way that it would work, if I set it up to just have a patch go directly from here to here, I can only build that patch one way, and I don't necessarily want my drills to be something that I can only build one way. So I think what I'll do is I'll do like an initial connection that way, and then I'll redefine how I do the coal after I get GotLab. Because this isn't slow to build by any means. And I think having to build my iron patch in a specific way, and especially a specific way that's different. So like one of them would have coal on this side, one of them would look like this, and the other one would also look like this, but I then need to supplement coal iron into the middle for both of them. So I think that would just be a little bit weird, because it obviously works for this bottom one, but it doesn't for the top, and I think that's just going to create a mess. So we're just not going to worry about it. We're going to remove all of these splitters because they are unnecessary. Okay, so for faster build speed, we use an inserter here for this setup. I don't like how we have these gaps before any fuel can make it to these lanes. It does increase the cost a little bit. It's not actually a ton. It increases the cost to start up by like 100 belts, and then everything here actually uses all that belt. So it increases the startup cost by 100 belt. It doesn't increase the underground requirement at all, which is nice, because these are all required. So I guess it's not a big deal. But yeah, basically the way it's set up, we will have inserters just outputting directly onto the belt, and then every 12 inserters we have a compressor. Wait, this is the wrong one. This one gets a splitter. So we would have a compressor here. Not entirely sure. I might redefine how I do the entrance. But overall, I think that'll be okay. Okay, so this needs a compressor every 12. And that basically is saying once I get stack size 2, these can technically drain this entire belt. So the less often we have the compressor, the better. Honestly, actually, yeah, this works great because this would need its own compressor. So yeah, we would have a compressor here. And now this one needs a splitter. However, it doesn't need a splitter for a lot longer. So my idea was that we do this. And then we have supplemental fuel later. Assuming the side doesn't matter, but we can, there's ways we can make the side work out. But yeah, basically the idea here is that we only want to use inserters to start, and then we can do weird ways to get fuel later at the quantities we need. So yeah, let's replace all of these. This does have this compressor. It doesn't need to be double-sided yet. We'll worry about that later. So everything marked with yellow, these will need a full lane. This one's marked with both. No idea what the hell that means. It's definitely supposed to only be marked with one, though. Because I remember building that lane. Okay. And then these have to be a side load, but that's okay. So we'll mark that like so. This also is technically a side load if we add more coal to it. This one isn't. This one isn't. This one is. This one is. This one's also a side load. Okay. That should be all right. Okay, so how many inserters is this? This is only 7. Okay, so we can go a lot farther. But yeah, I really like this idea of upgrading it later when I actually need the coal. This doesn't need to be a side load, right? This one needs to be a side load, though. Okay. So yeah, the idea here is that I can use Smart Belt by doing this. Voila, it's Smart Belt upgrades. And that makes it that the starting cost is like 20 to 50 less splitters because I don't need as many compressors. And then we can switch to like a splitter design later. Like right here, one inserter will make this run well enough. Except, oh, wait, we were smart enough. This does only read 1/2 of the belt. So this is expecting it's only going to get half a belt. Awesome. Or I just wanted to make sure it was relatively dense. That's also a possibility. Because this is a pretty safe design, to be honest. We should actually read it. Actually, yeah, this works. No, this works well. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this is considered relatively safe. It's not perfect. We could make it more safe by reading from the belt behind it, I think. And then doing greater than 9. So this is basically just saying, hey, only activate if all of these are relatively full. And that just gives a good average of if fuel is backed up. And it doesn't matter how fast fuel is coming through. As long as it's one-sided. Which, I don't know, might be a big if. Okay, so this one doesn't need a compressor. This is the one that I needed to shift down, which would actually make a lot more sense to do it this way. Because then we don't have any undergrounds. Yeah, that tracks. That's much smarter. We're actually going to send everything to stage 5.1 because it's a lot easier to read when it's just a blue square. Okay, I think we've definitely passed the 12 inserter mark at this point, though. Oh, wow. Barely. Okay, so this is when it needs a compressor from this second lane. No idea what that is. Oh, I think that was my idea for the compressor, right? Can that clear it? Yes. Okay, so if we want to upgrade to a splitter later, that's how we do it. Awesome. Okay, so this would have a third lane, which I need to connect. Do I have any coal? I don't think I have a coal one on my belt, which is funny, considering we use so much coal. I mean, I guess we had solid fuel. We definitely use more solid fuel. Oh, that's only 11. Okay, so we really did stop at like exactly 12 before I asked. That's awesome. It was a complete guess, but there is no, it was 100% luck. But it still feels like you know, it was a smart thing and not just dumb luck. Okay, so the way that I'm hooking this up, I think all of the upgrades to make it use more than one splitter can be done via bots. So I think it does, I think it is a good idea to do it this way and then do an upgrade later when I need it. Okay, this is 7, so we can do 3 more. And then at some point, the lane switches to be a lot different, and that changes things. Yeah, when it's different, it changes things. Who would have thought? So like right here, this one is very clearly a side load that needs to be pretty consistent, I think, in its output speed, because this is an important belt. So I think this one should probably be a splitter from the start, or a double inserter could work. But since it needs to be on one specific side, it would probably be better to do a splitter from the get-go. Is there any way I can force a side load? Yes. So if I do 2 splitters here, and then we do this, that will make it that it doesn't matter what half of the belt, because these do drain the close side first, so we do need a side balancer at the end. Okay, so yeah, this one's probably going to run a little bit low, but I think that's okay. Because this is built after fuel should be backed up for a bit. And then I should probably just say the compressor is here at this point. That seems like a reasonable spot to put a compressor. Because this is 10 inserters plus something that's more than 10 inserters. Oh, but this doesn't expand at all. I don't know, it's hard to say. Now this part I don't think should be done with inserters. Oh wait, oh, but it only needs the speed of an inserter. Oh, that complicates things a lot. Okay, maybe I can do this with an inserter. Let's see. That cannot be mined, interesting. I wonder if there's a force delete button, because I feel like that would make things a little bit simpler. Okay, does this line up? Let's see, these, I have, technically I have these all marked as an inserter, but they don't line up. So I'm assuming, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one I was counting as this lane. So this one probably should just have it all go all the way through. That makes sense to me. I don't think this needs 2 belts of fuel going to it, though. I think it can make do with 1 as long as we have the compressor here. So we should do the compressor earlier so we can get 1 lane, and then we branch off here. Send it down. And then the rest continue through. I think that seems reasonable to me. That should get the throughput I need. Because none of these that are marked with a splitter need full coal, except maybe these ones that move plastic. But we staggered those well, so we never need more than like 3 plastic lanes from a single belt, which I think is 1/5 of a lane, and yeah, that should be fine. Like 1 lane of coal should be enough for all of these, actually. Yeah, 1 lane of coal split between all of these with the splitters is fine. So yeah, we're not going to have throughput issues there. And that leaves 3 coal per second for average consumption. The only time we need a little bit more than what the burners can supply is if we have logic relying on coal, like here, where we might want it to back up a little bit better. I think, how do we force it to go to the correct side? Okay, we have it go that way. Okay, so that is something we need to be aware of with those compressors then. Because grabbing from a splitter, it's sometimes safe, but it's sometimes not. It depends where it comes. Depends where it comes from. But considering this is the only compressor that just happened to be problematic with that, I think that should be okay. Now, when you double this up, this does drain the entire lane, but that's not really a problem because realistically, we're not going to be starting 14 of these at once. We just want the ability to start them all at pretty decent speed. But it's just a balancing game. How much slower do I want to make one section, and how much do I benefit from it, right? Wait, should I do the compressor before or after this? I think it makes most sense to do it after, right? Because this gets fuel from there. So something like that probably is good. Now the first compressor, only needs 1. The second compressor needs 2. After that, we can probably just stick with 3 all the way down. Because the farther we go, the less likely we are to need all of them at once. So let's move this. Let's move the markers down. Yeah, it's really just about the averages, I think. This also continues through. But after this, I think we can just stick with a 2 wide compressor, because I think if we do a 4th lane, it's actually going to be a separate thing that uses undergrounds to upgrade these later. Not entirely sure how that will work though. We'll figure it out. We also, I guess it'll be pretty apparent in our testing. Yeah, it should be pretty apparent in our testing if we really need to fix things that have coal on the wrong side. Okay, so none of these seem to need coal at full rate. So I think distribution-wise, we're actually good on coal. So this one, we should probably switch which side is which. Can I do that? Can I do that, actually? Actually, what if we do an unbalancer? What if I just have a splitter here? Like, I compress it to get it over here, but then here, I just want to split both of these 50-50. I think that's all right with me. Oh, this part sucks. This part is real bad, actually. Maybe I should come through here. This is going to be annoying. Okay, so basically the problem is that I need an inserter to be here. I could do the coal lane first. So theoretically, I could do this. So that's smart beltable. I have to do the coal lane before this one if I want it to smart belt though, which I don't love. But this is hand belt, so it's... I don't think it's going to break anything too badly. That's a big if, though. I don't know if I should rely on that. But yeah, none of these are high throughput. That's what matters right now. Okay, so this is hand built. This is hand built. We can take from here, or we can take from here. The issue with this almost works perfectly, but it grabs from the corner. So I could do this, because I want these lanes to be done first. It makes a lot more sense for these to be done first in terms of build order, because most of my designs are built around coal first. So I could do this. This is considered safe. This would be a safe design. It's just slightly annoying to do, but out of my entire build, I think it's definitely not the worst. It's definitely not the most annoying. And then extra coal. And then the rest of it just goes through here, and then this stuff is built by bots. So this is deleted. This is deleted. So this stuff is built by hand, this stuff's built by hand. Actually, I should move this down. This doesn't save in terms of like player speed time. This is annoying to build. But if I do this, shift it down 1, we're good. So this does use more entities, but it gives me something to smart belt. Hello, Tice. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying to figure out how much coal I need right now in my main lane. I think we can make do with 4 to 5 lanes of starter. 4 to 5 starter lanes. Well, starter lanes as in by the time we get to bots, we need 5 lanes of coal, which is quite the ratio. Okay, this is not hand built, so this one can do entity savings. It can't be on that stage, though, whatever stage I just moved it to. Okay. So we are up to here, and then this continues on and it's built entirely by bots. Okay, so how much have we split off? This is 10 inserters, so we actually do need a second lane of coal going through here. We might need. We might not. These are all pretty short lanes. Like these ones are for the most part like five. These power like five inserters. Also, it's gonna be. I'm not looking forward to powering these. We didn't leave as many gaps as I thought in the gear setup. It can be done with medium poles, but it's going to be weird, and we have to redo a lot of the belt savings. Although this is wasted belt anyway, so I guess we should redo it regardless. Okay, so this isn't coal, right? Yeah, that's not coal. Wait, did I used to think it was coal? I definitely initially thought it was coal. And then change that. Okay, we can shift this. Yeah, I just discovered this button, by the way. Cut with stage. It's super nice. Super duper nice. Okay, we don't need this inserter. But yeah, this stuff is built by bots, so it can be cursed. Should be cursed. I mean, to be fair, we haven't wanted to use it that much, so it's not like we've been missing out on a ton. This is the first instance where it's like, oh yeah, no, that's really useful. But there are probably a couple times where it would have been still helpful, just not to this degree. Yeah, definitely. Copy with probably would have been better. I don't like the icon. Oh, that's a different icon. I forgot I have that mod. We used it initially. But yeah, one day I'll get used to the fact that there's a tool tab there. I guess considering I don't really play with mods that often and I don't like hide that fact, I guess nobody would be surprised that I forget the toolbar in general exists. Okay, so we could start with this. We could start this one with a splitter pretty easily because this is not hand built. Right? So we can make this a weird loop and the world doesn't end. Like we can go around here, we can go up to there, we can go here. Because I prefer... Ooh, that's going to cause some conflicts. Now we cut these and we move them down because these are important markers to tell me how much I actually need the coal. Okay, so just in theory, splitters can start the lane faster. So as long as I'm not hand building it, I have no problem using splitters. They don't start it as evenly, but they can start it faster on average. But this is so short, does it really matter? It's actually longer than I thought. It's fine. Can't really cause issues. Okay, so we need to figure out, well, it can cause issues, but it can't cause any issues I'm worried about. Hello, Arters, welcome. Okay, so we need to figure out how to get one more lane of coal over here in a way that isn't awful. This part is not great, but this entire section is going to be annoying to hand build, so honestly, this isn't that big of a deal. But yeah, we need one more lane of coal. We probably don't, actually. We probably don't. These are really short. We potentially need one more lane of coal so these can start more evenly, but they also stop right here, so I don't know if start speed matters much, considering we'll be largely limited by bots for that phase anyway. I just want the ability to get one more lane of coal, you know? We could go through here. It could be a bot build. It can go through the middle. Something like that could work. This could be a lot cleaner if we could grab from corners, by the way. but we can't. That's what this splitter is for. Yeah, I think that's all right. I mean, start time is bad already. We need to improve it where we can. Like a 30-minute start time for a critical build is really bad. So if we can reduce it by 5 to 10 minutes, it's very helpful. But yeah, that's why I don't want to do like the bare minimum compressors, like you were saying. Like I need to be able to start all of these relatively fast at the same time. So a compressor every 25 would be a bit rough because it doesn't give me expansion options. But a compressor every 12, I think will be a good balance because it's actually not that expensive. Even a compressor every 12 just makes it 9 total splitters. This is just a weird compressor. This one's not important. This is just a weird balance thing. But that's because of sushi. Honestly, maybe this is fine. Let's see, where does this go? This will back up really fast and the rest will go through. That technically... we'll make a double compressor here. Double compressor with a splitter at the end. That's a weird design. Does it do what I want it to? Okay, so we compress this because I want this to fill up because this is important. And then the excess is here. And it will always be here. So maybe we just add a splitter. Good if it won't fill up till every inserter caps. There won't be any stops in the middle. Yeah, that's true. Actually, that gives me... If it doesn't fill up until inserter cap, that also means I don't need to worry about the second lane. Like, I need to place this early just because I need it placed. But I don't need the second lane. I just need the standalone splitter. Yeah, start time is important to some degree. It really depends what it's doing and where I'll be at the time, I guess. This part of the run, start times are really important. Once we get to the outposts, like even the mining outposts, start time is nice, but if I only save like a few minutes by like doing weird staging, that's not going to make a difference because I'll be doing other things. But this phase, startup time just directly delays bots because I just have nothing else to be doing. Well, theoretically, we'll see. It depends how my pathing is. I cannot... Okay, what do I want this to do? Honestly, I think this does what I want. It just is weird. For some reason, I'm telling myself I want a full splitter here and I want a full splitter here, and I think that's because some of these go into belts with logic. And if belts have logic, I definitely want them to have more coal than like one inserter. Otherwise, the logic is never going to start. Okay, so now that we have that, this makes the early part really easy to build, really cheap to build. We only need like 3 inserters and we can start our entire base. And then we get to this section. Which I don't know. It's weird. I think it's overkill. I really think it's overkill. It's fine. We can always add more coal, just like side-loaded here, manually. As long as it's like outside of my base blueprint, right? Like that's technically always an option. What is this? No. Building the whole coal lane takes some time with burners. It takes some time. It's not awful. Like you can get a lane of coal. Like it still only takes like a minute or two, a couple minutes. Because like it's annoying to build, but at the same time you don't need to place the power poles. But yeah, it's not great. Okay, I think this does what I want. Because I want an even split between these two. And then this is a later supplement. Okay, so now, how do I get more coal onto these easily? So this needs an underground. Now these don't care what side they go on. So I'm thinking something like this. These do care what side they go on. Now there's two options here. So this is the easiest way. Well, it's slightly more expensive, but it doesn't require me to do very specific smart belting like that. So I think I'm leaning towards just using the one extra belt here. And the reason these need supplement, some of these go towards grenades, some of these go towards plastic, so they just need a little bit more throughput than an inserter can supply. But since we don't need that right away, we're doing a supplemental coal belt on like the outside that I can do after Gotlap. Now this one doesn't need... Well, this one I have set up to use 2 splitters. But this lane's pretty dang long. I feel like 2 inserters here might not work. It's just this lane. I could add a splitter here. This logic is set up to run based on the belt being half full, which I guess is fine. What does this lane do? Why would I have told it to run at a whole belt? Ah, yes, because we need to saturate the entire half belt of this, so we need this to be pretty consistent. Solid fuel is also an option here, because solid fuel is just right here. It might be a better option to do solid fuel onto yellow science. That means that this can be completely fed with inserters and I don't have to worry about it. Seems reasonable to me. These I have marked as needing more. Okay. These I had marked as needing more. And then this one we already did, and then the rest of these are actually set up. Okay. So now how do we do this outer lane of coal? I think with the way this is set up, maybe we just do like a standard compressor over here. I don't think... So this is also an option. This will help with start time. This might help with start time, but it also takes a bit to set up, and this only is like half a belt. So that could mitigate how often I need to do coal expansions, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, because this can only fill like half of a belt. And I obviously can't balance the buffer, so it's probably going to be less than half a belt. I mean, I can balance the buffer, but balancing a buffer is slow, right? The other option is to go outwards, and that at least balances the side better. But either way, this is technically an option which will allow us to do 2 rows at once. Peak with an average of 1. But at least this part's easy. This part I know... This part I know I can do. Let's see. We'll cut this, move it down, cut this, move it down. Oh, this is fueling. That's going to be... Okay, that one's annoying. Okay. So, how do we fuel the smelter is an important question. Honestly, the smelter should be deprioritized over the inserters. Yeah, this should be deprioritized. Because if this gets coal and this doesn't, you can actually kill inserters. So... what do I do for that? How awful would this be to build? Hold on. Something like that? Could that work? Um, I guess it doesn't need to be part of the compressor, so I could just do this. From one side, you want to see you run the space. From the other, you want to run it blind. Who are you trying to lie to? You know most of it. Yeah, there's a lot that definitely would not be blind. Plus, you wouldn't be the one who has to make all of the who notices all the critical errors when we realize everything is broken. So you would avoid that, which is nice. I think this is what I want. Oh, but if I do that, what if I supplement this later? Maybe. It's like I need to deprioritize smelters, but not lose throughput in the wrong direction. I could just do a 50-50. This might be fine. A 50-50 followed by a compressor. Or let's see, what if I do that, and then for this one I do an output prio, but no input prio? No, that causes a... it wouldn't necessarily cause a bottleneck, actually. This might work. Because I want things to end up on this side. The issue that I'm trying to solve is this is also prioed. You can imagine the tech tree for the first 3 hours. Oh yeah, rushing stack inserter size is the first research after GOTLAP. Okay, probably not the first. Actually, it might be the first. There's a good chance this is the first thing we get after GOTLAP before we start researching plastics. Because maybe red belt? No, that's research for GOTLAP. So steel furnaces and assembling machines maybe earlier just so they can start buffering. And they're also really quick. And then it's hard to say. It's a very important tech, but it also takes like half an hour. That's why it's like one of those things where stack size is super important. But it is a decent chunk of science. Oh, I guess it's after plastic, so you can't not start getting chem plants. So never mind. So yeah, this takes like 500 science plus plastics. So yeah, there'd be no reason to skip steel furnaces in that case. It's not gonna make it. You're not gonna get it that much quicker. And buffering steel furnaces and assembly machines, considering they produce so slow early, seems nice. Okay, so this sends stuff here. Honestly, should I just do a 50-50? I feel like I should just do a 50-50. Oh, wait. Wait. How do I want... Is it the wrong way? Wait, which one causes a brownout? If this runs out of coal, it browns out. No. Does it matter? Hold on, it might not be a problem. Okay, let's say these run out of coal. This still outputs if these keep getting coal, but this one... Okay, yeah, never mind. Never mind. Very basic priority is what I need. I don't know what I was thinking. Or I know what I was thinking. I was thinking the issue was hand feeding, but it's a completely different problem from that. Okay. Everything's good. In my mind, I think I was hand feeding these, and then these got fuel from this lane. But somehow the furnace magically got full from fuel from a different lane. Yeah, I don't know. I'm delirious. We were thinking about safety for bots there. Well, yeah, that was for specifically these. So it is possible that I just had that in my mind and was applying it to these. Also, the fact that these are blinking right now makes it look like something's wrong, but that's just because red belt. Although I could add circuit logic to this. It's not a terrible idea. We can stop this belt if there isn't fuel like here. That would help a little bit with safety. Not a ton. It's not perfect, but it is an option if I need it. Yeah, it's not a significant change though. Okay, so 3 lanes of fuel. We'll have to just like rebuild this stage, I think, and see how long it takes for things to actually run. Okay, and then this gets later. So this is the 4th lane of coal. This can be deleted. This is weird. This can be shifted. This can be shifted. Oh wait, we can use the cut stage. Although I think this is actually in this stage. There we go. So if we do it this way, Smart Belt can clear both of those. This is supplemental fuel. So now, ooh, wait, actually. What if I do... something like that? No, I think we need another way to get fuel here. I think this fuel should actually come from the inside. And it should come later. How do we number? Oh, ooh, wait. We can do something like this. 1, and we can put like a number next to it, right? So this could be like our build order. So yeah, we can do something like that. That will tell us what order we need to connect them. It should be pretty apparent, but basically the idea here is that this eventually needs supplemental fuel but not until bots. It doesn't need it until bots, I think. Yeah, because this technically has enough coal from a single belt. Barely, but it does. So this is a post-bots thing, which means it can be connected however. Which means I don't want it to complicate this design, because this is pre-bots. Welcome back. This is also pretty early. Oh, landfill's going to be pretty early because it produces so slowly. But it's not that early. It's just going to be pre-plastic, I imagine. Yeah, I think there's no world where I use these. It was a good idea. It was an idea, actually. It was an idea. I wouldn't say it was necessarily a good idea, but it was a possibility. This was just when I wasn't sure if we were going to do a stone train. It gave me an option to get coal stone from a close patch over here instead of over here. But with how far it is, it's in real. Even like a close patch over there isn't going to be any farther than a far patch over here. Or sorry, any closer than a far patch relative to this spot, because you got to consider the 400 wide base. So yeah, we can delete these. They just look ugly. I really don't think I'm going to use them. I could probably do some kind of manual connection if I need across the base, because this is mostly outside of the border of the base. This should get a compressor initially. I'm just going to do a splitter for now, though. Because it will come from a compressor, and then we'll unsplit it at the end, just in case something is unbalanced. I don't know about a buffer. Okay, so we need to figure out how much coal we need in each lane. So theoretically, this consumes not much. This consumes, let's say, half. Let's just round it. 1 and 1 for all of these. This consumes 1. So all of these are 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. They all take from the left, actually. Oh, this one runs slower, so this is half. Wait a minute. Is that ratio right? Yeah, that ratio is right. 1 in, 2 out. So this is 3.5. But that means maximum we're looking at now is 2 for a single lane. Okay, now we're looking at 3. And none of these share. Actually, these share. So this one's 3. This one's 3. This one's actually 0. This one's 1, 2. I'm counting this one as 3 because I think this has the grenades below it. Oh, actually, no. Okay, so none of them use more than 2, I don't think. Which means we can split that one lane up to 8 times, which is technically all of them, but that does not give us that much wiggle room in terms of start time. Because I think total between all of these, it uses 15 or 12 and a half out of like 15. So that means we'll need two supplemental coal lanes. What if I split off of the other lane? Okay, 5 lanes of coal is reasonable. 1.5 are going to smelters. 3 go into split inserters. Okay, so this part's easy. Let's do the part that I know is easy. Because we can just do this. Oh, can we cut it while it's on a different stage? No, we can't. That would be silly. Yeah, this part I know is easy because we have enough splitters here. I guess it's also got to be supplemented by this. Yeah, what's up, Zillion? So, Zillion. I don't know. I always read that without the in. Watch streak, nice, and more and more coal. Let's destroy the environment even harder. Hey, this is nothing compared to the amount of fuel we're burning. I don't know if that is really a sentiment that I should be proud of. Like, hey, we're not destroying the environment that bad. You just go by Zell, like Tell, but with a Z. That is a lot easier. But nice, 3-day streak. I always forget those are a thing. I always forget. Does it give you points, or do you spend points to say that? I feel like it just is bonus points, right? Okay, so this technically splits well enough. And then we also do grab fuel from this. So between this and this, bonus for you guys. Okay. I was pretty sure it was that. But I was not confident. Let's see, you follow this insane build, low-key, got back. How many lines of coal is it now? And other lanes, just... So we are currently at... We're up to 5 lanes of coal right now for most of the base. I'm trying to think how Smart Belt would do this. So this is 5 lanes of coal. We don't consume all of this on average, but I think I want 5, so that way once we paste a build, it all starts at the same time. If we have less than 5, they will run. It just might take, like, it depends, but anywhere from like 5 to 30 more minutes, depending on the build. Then for the rest of the builds, let's see, we have, I think 4 lanes, 4 yellow belts of coal going into plastic. So 9 total belts of coal, plus probably a couple belts going into power. So 8 belts of coal probably will be about our consumption. And then we have about 30 lines of solid fuel. And again, a lot of that is overproduction. On average, we'll probably only consume 15 of those, 10 to 15 of those, based on how many inserters I have. But if you don't overproduce by a factor of 100%, the start time is insane. Like, even with our overproduction, the start time is in like the 15-minute range just for fuel. So half that at 30 minutes, it's rough. It's rough. But fortunately, once they idle, things get a lot better. And then we haven't calculated it yet, but our outposts realistically are going to produce 15 on average per outpost. 1 lane on average per outpost, so that's another 20. So we're looking for the ability to produce 50 lanes of fuel at peak production with an average of half that. Oh wait, I forgot the power plant. It's only another like 6. Best would be doing 10-minute streams each 11 streams, so counts restart. Throws most bonuses in the first 10 later. What, so just like starting a stream for 10 minutes and then be like, okay guys, come back in 10 minutes? Yeah, that wouldn't annoy anybody who has notifications turned on. Losing points from just watching for it would be wasteful. It would be. But since it like gave a notification, I wasn't sure if it was just like in the same vein as highlight message. That's why I was thinking maybe it was like a spin part of the highlight message button. I think I really want this to be solid fuel. It's not hard to do, right? Yeah, it's not difficult. Okay. Let's make this solid fuel. And then our coal troubles. Well, then we don't have to care about that coaling. Let's see, where is it? Where is yellow science? Oh, I'm too high. Whenever you switch layers, it kicks you out of map view mode, so a lot of times I have to like recalibrate. Okay, I do see why we didn't use solid fuel. This works, but we might need a red belt for it. Oh, I see now. No, it makes a lot more sense. Ah. Yeah, okay, I see it now. Is there a better solid fuel I can grab from? Maybe this? This isn't a sushi belt. This also isn't a sushi belt. This layer is disabled though, so it's just not getting coal. We can take from labs. There we go. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot better. And then we do this, and then we change this logic to be solid fuel is less than 2. And this filters out solid fuel instead. Okay. So that should get enough solid fuel. And if anything, it's going to starve 1/2 of my lab slightly, which is not... Okay, technically it starves. It would starve... Let's see, where would solid fuel come? Solid fuel comes in there. So it would starve this half. Not this half. Yeah, I know, right? Who even needs science? But yeah, if we have to choose, starving the labs is obviously better than starving the science. Just because the labs are... We have enough labs that we can recover. Probably a lot easier than we can recover from lost yellow. Okay, so that simplifies this. So now this no longer needs an upgrade to a splitter. That's what all of that was about. I wanted to make it that this did not need a boost, because that's the only reason that was low. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. Oh, hold on, getting a call. Back in a GIF. Okay, there we go. Back. So I had to make dinner plans tonight. We're going to barbecue. Weren't sure when though. Okay. So how do we get this coal distributed? Honestly, this might be fine. That was really... Oh, and this one. Why does this need... Why does this one need a high density? Let's see. Ah, it's because this one's used for logic. Well, in that case, that means we need a balancer halfway through to ensure stuff is on both sides. See, this stuff is post bots, okay? Yeah, anytime we're reading from a belt like that, we need to make sure fuel is guaranteed to be on both halves, which we'll be able to tell whenever we do the stress tests, hopefully. I'm assuming for the most part, these are designed to not... Ooh, this one is actually... This one does need a whole, a whole lane, because this is 8 plus 8 plus 8. Okay, so yeah, no, that's important that we have a side balancer there. Can't believe I didn't put a side balancer before I did the logic, though. That's concerning. It's fixable though. Stuff like that is fixable within the run, unfortunately. I mean, it's annoying. We would have to fix it every stage, but we can fix logic pretty easily by just, changing the logic and then copying it to a separate blueprint if we notice it. But side balancer is even better. Okay, so that's why that one needs a full lane. That makes sense. What about this one? Okay. Underground, underground, underground. No, it has a lot of inserters, but I don't see logic. Ah, I see. I see. Okay. This feeds the train and then potentially continues through to the rest of the... I see. Okay, so yeah, this is actually... This one needs a lot of coal. So we just fixed this one. So this is the one that needs like an entire lane, theoretically. So I should probably do a compressor here and skip the inserter setup entirely. Because this powers my train filling, and it powers this. I do think we have supplemental coal halfway down the line, but not all the way at the front. This one can get the easy upgrade though. In fact, now that we got rid of that one, we no longer need as much coal there, so this can be supplemented like so, and it should be okay. And then the rest of these we've already established don't need dedicated splitters. Okay, never mind. These ones need dedicated splitters. This one's a short section, isn't it? No. No. This is 9. It is a short section, actually. Yeah, we need to figure out what these are. Let's see. Do we see any logic? Ah. We do have logic, but it's not that important. Okay. This just ends here. It looks like we usually cap things with an underground belt if we don't know if it's going anywhere. It seems to be a lot more consistent. Because then you don't accidentally sideload. Okay, we did fix this one. Okay, good. Okay, this one doesn't strictly need another belt. I think these can make do with double inserters, which is a lot easier to set up. Okay, there we go. That's totally fine. I don't know. I don't think we need any side loading here. I don't see why we would. This one, we already fixed this one, right? No, that one I think I can supply with one. Ah, yeah, because it's pretty short. The only part that's side-loaded for logic is a stretch of like 5, which is fine. Really, I only want it to be ultra-saturated if the logic belt that it's going on is like a sushi belt, because those you need to keep the input fairly saturated, otherwise it works really poorly. It eventually works out, but the start time of sushi is already really bad. We don't need to make it worse. These don't use coal in any way, right? No, okay. Yeah, none of these recipes use coal. Okay. Yeah, the only coal recipes are here or over here, which uses its own belt. Wait, how am I getting coal here? I get it from the other side of the base. I forgot about that. Okay, that's fine. Uh, so yeah, we needed like 3 belts of, or like 3.5 belts of coal over here and half a belt of coal over here, which is just such a pitiful amount. We just sent that half belt through the whole base, and that's totally fine. It just, I forgot about that. Okay, this isn't the worst thing. If I really want, I can go around it. I might do that actually. That just, if I do it this way, it's slightly slower to build, but the build order doesn't matter. And it seems silly for the build order to matter here. Hey, wait, I thought, oh, I moved this lane. I was really confused. I was like, I swear we did not make 6 lanes. Okay, so now we need to check the compressor. I guess I need to not forget that the drain from this will be mitigated by these slightly, at least to start. So this lane can support this lane for all of these builds. This one very clearly has all of the coal it needs. And now we could do a prio to the left. And we can combine this one here later with bots, right? Actually, would that be built by bots? I'm not sure if this would be built by bots. There's no reason I would build that by hand. This would definitely be built by bots. Okay, so if it's built by bots, that means we do underground. And that's because this lane solely is just supplemental fuel to get stuff over here. But this stuff is not built by bots, so that uses regular. And this just gives us the option to... Ooh, should I do a prio? I might... Let's see, that's split. Yeah, we don't need a prio. Nah, it'll be fine. We can always add those later. Prios are also one of those things that are really easy to do manually. Yeah, I think we have enough coal. This is a lot of coal, but we're also using burner inserters, so like obviously we're using a lot of coal. And then I don't think I will need this much all the time. So we probably can make do with 3 for a really long time until bots. And 3 is very reasonable to get from the starter patches. Okay, so this water connects through later. A little bit messy. I could try to make it less of a corner here, but honestly not a big deal. Okay, and then we'll delete the buffer. If we do a buffer, it can be just, we can hand do the buffer. And then let's move this over. Oops, wrong layer. There we go. Okay, but yeah, wait, what the heck? That's weird. Anyway, we can hand build a buffer if we really decide we like that idea, because the buffer would realistically be something outside of our base. Okay, so this order is not right. We accidentally copied over that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for supplemental fuel. I think that's all right. Yeah, okay, that's all right. This does use more belt than it would be if I shifted over one, but that would require a lot more underbelt early. Okay, so that's coal distribution done. Well, I mean it's done as it can be. We'll have to like check with staging later, and we can always improve it. Hello, Shadow. Welcome. This is the balance we have for our coal our coal splitters to minimize the amount of compressors we need. So now we only need 12 to 15, depending on how you count it. Splitters before bots instead of like 50. That should be good. And we only need like 2 of those splitters before Gotlap. Or sorry, wait, we would need this one. That one. Yeah. We need this one. We wouldn't need this one. We would need these two. We don't need these ones. Well, we don't strictly need these ones, but we probably would place them. So yeah, we would need all of those before GotLab. But yeah, 15 inserters is nothing, considering how much we're overproducing circuits, or how much we can overproduce circuits. We should be fine. Okay, so now for a scary thing. We'll save this as 2.0. Sure. That's 1.99 already, because I just keep adding numbers. I also started at 60. This isn't our 100th save. I just started at a stupidly high number. Because I forgot how version numbers save in Factorio. Like, I forgot that 1.10 goes, higher than 1.1. Yeah. I was thinking 1.1 is 1.01, but it would be more like 1.10. So we changed our naming system. At least I think that's how it works in Factorio. Maybe not. Oh, wait. Yeah, yeah. Because it thinks this goes here instead of 1.60. Yeah. It's fine. Or maybe, wait, what? Yeah, because this was supposed to be version 80 in my mind, but it obviously isn't. It's 8. Either way, it doesn't matter. Our naming scheme is, our version number is random, and that's how you should version things, completely arbitrarily and random. Okay, so we need our power plant blueprint. Because this is what we need to work on. Power plant. Full. Okay, and then I believe we had an estimate of how much power we needed. Actually, what if I blueprint my entire base? How much power does it say I will need on max? Let's see, 250 refineries. I think I need a calculator for this. Hold on. Okay, so 434. We're just gonna get peak. 434 times 246 plus 78 times 445. Now, none of these actually run full speed all the time. Well, some of them might, but most of them won't. We'll call that 1,000 chem plants. So that's 400 megawatts right there. Then we throw in those. That's another 400. Nothing right now is beaconed. This stuff does get beaconed. So this is probably a lot higher than that. This would be in the 1 to 2 megawatt range. So we'll call it 2,000. Plus 2,000 times 76. Then labs, I don't know, they get boosted, what, 10? They are like 600 kilowatts. Although I don't really have to care about the labs. But either way, we're looking at on the upper end. Oh wait, I forgot these. Plus 155 times 1,500. It says I need 800 megawatts for my entire base. That is not true. It's probably more like 500 because everything runs at like half speed for the most part. And I don't think, although maybe when you throw in the prod mods, maybe it offsets each other. But yeah, most things don't run constantly, but worst case scenario would be about 800. And we need to be able to run half of that, not quite half that, but almost half of that. So 300 to 400 off of our starter power plant plus steam engines before I can switch to this. So our starter plant is going to be 40 megawatts if we do one, 80 megawatts if we do two. So we need to make it that we have 300 megawatts worth. Something that the normal 100% runs do is that they add major power plant stages into their appropriate spots during the main base blueprint. Yeah, I've seen that. Like their power is just kind of mixed into there, so they know when to expand it. But honestly, I don't really care that much about our expansion order. It doesn't affect our growth that much. The main thing is I just need to make sure I have enough power to get me to turbines. Is the real reason I was adding those up. Like we can stage it. We probably will, but that's a very minor thing, so we don't have to worry too much about that. These don't drain that many resources from our main base at the rate we need them. Not like 100% runs where, they're expanding a lot faster. And producing engines is, a significant burden. And not like 2 iron per second like it is for us. Yeah, our inserters are terrible. Yeah, I'll probably at least stage these. And then I think I just am going to have a blueprint that puts the rest of it in one go at the end. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, so turbines are a blue science. We should only need 3 to 400 to get to blue science. So we're going to be switching these for steam engine alternatives. And then we're good. Because this is 60 megawatts, right? Sorry, 600 megawatts right there. That's another 1500, I think. But yeah, as long as we just swap these for engines, we should be good. Honestly, even just this swap for engines should be enough. But like 300 before we have turbines, I think is a very, very realistic estimate. Although these do take more than I would like. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Does anybody know how BotQ works? So I want to add modules to all of these, but the modules will not be produced until 4 hours later, 4 to 5 hours later. Because I want to eventually decrease the power drain of these. Because I think over my whole base, it was like, what, 200 times 1,000 plus 250 times 450. So it's 200 about 300 megawatts goes into refineries. When they idle, it's probably going to be more like 150, which means we could save 100 megawatts if we do efficiency modules later, or up to that. Depends how many we put, but we could save up to like 130, but realistically it's just going to be 100 because we're going to put only 2 in. But if it messes with BotQ, because I'm requesting 4... No, what would that be? 2 in each. 2,000 efficiency modules early, that might be a problem. It's hard to say. I guess these technically have efficiency modules in them, so maybe I'm just assuming it's not going to be a problem. Anyway, we need a different stage for this. We already staged version, right? Yeah, we've just been... I mean, it's too late anyway, but we've saved this version. The only thing we did was copy the power plant blueprint. Pretty sure they go, I need modules, I don't got modules next. Yeah, but that adds up a lot if it's like 2,000 things that they have to say that for. If they look at modules in one group, then maybe it's fine. They also have massive lack of modules till late game. Okay, so it probably if they're requesting modules early, it's probably fine. I think I've read discussions where people were trying to decide if they were on a separate queue, but I was not sure what the answer was to it. I don't remember how the staged mod works. How do I get a fresh save with this? Do I just turn off everything? Not entirely sure. Been a while. Yeah, we just need to get a fresh save for our power plant. I think there's a button. Answer is we don't know. Yeah. If they're requesting modules, we're probably fine. We can always... Can you remove them? Is it possible to remove a module request? I don't think it is there? Whoa, we can run around? I don't think I've ever considered getting out of editor mode here. Okay. So power plant full, I decided this needs to be steam at least. That's 300 megawatts, right? More like 280, but still, it's close. So that makes this a little bit wider. It's not the end of the world, but it does make it wider. That's really the only downside. Oh, wait a minute. Well, okay, I say it makes it wider. It changes the design completely. So it adds up. You think Q is rather efficient. The inefficiency is just bot speed. Q is not efficient. I would not describe it that way. It's pretty bad and it's pretty important. Like if you have a lot of entities you don't have, the Q is really bad about handling that. Copy their boiler stack. Their boiler stack? No, their boiler stack isn't good for us. I don't think. I don't think it will work for us, at least. The issue is I really want to do the direct feeding with the chem plants. That you just need to change belt for chem plant. That's not a conversion that's easy. That's not a conversion that works very well. I looked into it the other day. It wasn't straightforward. The order of the queue is inefficient, but in general, the speed of bots seems to be more of an issue when you look at the bigger picture. I don't know. I don't really agree with that statement. I think it's much more of an effect than you think than you're implying. Speed of bots matters, but if you don't have the resources, they don't even build anything, and that messes with their speed even more. So I guess it's more lack of resources mixed with bot queue. It doesn't like if you're missing something, and then they just do nothing, and then it just kind of compounds. So if we just have the resources, we're good. There's not really different. You can build engines compressed. You're talking about their stack that has water going down the middle, right? Or are you just talking about? No, it wouldn't be that one. 100 old electric. I guess if I didn't do a double stack, it's fine. But we can't pass this water through our base. We would have to go around, which is possible, but we can't power this. So what do I steal from it? There's not enough room for pipes in here, or pumps in there. I mean, I could just use this entirely, though. That might be all right. Wait, how many megawatts do they have? Let's see, 100%. Okay, gotcha. So you're just saying use the first stack? I guess I could just only use one stack. That changes my refinery values, though. I have to redo everything, so I don't know how much time that really saves. Like, I don't know what we're saving if I copy their work. I don't think we save anything. Like, I don't think it simplifies my job to adapt theirs. It's a lot easier to adapt mine manually. Okay, that part's easy. What's the most efficient way to do this? Not sure. Yeah. Well, no. So the issue is that theirs is a different length. It's not a turbine issue. If I want to copy their homework, I have to completely redesign my chem plant layout and my refinery layout. So it just ends up not being less work for me. Uh, which is why I think just using mine ends up just being a lot nicer because I don't have to steal their homework. But yeah, there's a lot of weird splitter stuff we had to do to like make the lanes balanced, and I don't want to have to shave it down to 5 and redo that all. It should be fixed. Yeah, it's fixed. I guess the real question is, do I need this power plant before advanced oil? I don't think so. Yeah, no, I think this one is definitely after blue science because we're any power we need before oil is just going to be hand built on the edge of the lake, right? Yeah, yeah, this isn't hand placed. This isn't hand placed at all. Oops. Did I mess up the power pole placement or something? Nope, that's the same. Okay. And then we can stagger them with each other, though I don't know if that's worth it. Actually, that's silly. Of course it's worth it. It's really easy. So we need to shift these up. That's fine. That's not a problem. Oh yeah, it's super easy. We just mirror it, right? Yeah, what am I thinking? Yeah, okay. This stuff gets shifted up. We're just gonna cut it for now. We'll leave it up there. And then this is on the edge, so it actually doesn't matter how this one is built, but that does tessellate. Okay, so now that we have that, we need to figure out where this alignment was. So I think it looked like this. No, that definitely did not look like that. Where the heck were... Ah, it was there. Okay. That's not right. Is it? Oh, wait, what? I'm so confused. What's the point of that? Okay, now I'm just kind of forgetting what mine looked like. Let's bring another one out. No, it doesn't need substations. We just haven't removed the other. Okay, so that's just unnecessary. That's why it looks weird, because I don't need it. But yeah, these ones no longer need substations or medium poles, so we can remove those. Substations, medium poles, delete. The only reason we needed the substations is so that we can power the engine through it. Now, I think we have to build power like around in a really annoying way. Actually, never mind. Um, I feel like there was a better way to do that. There is a better way to do that. I see that if I just went through the middle, it would have actually been faster. Or use less, I think. Actually, no, I think it's the same amount. So that didn't benefit. I think if I manually stagger it, I might be able to save a few power poles. Okay, I mean, that technically works, right? But yeah, we don't need that anymore. The same, but looks better. Okay. I'll take it. That still counts for something. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, we'll do that soon. These can connect to each other, right? That doesn't like break anything. Wait, are they exactly? Oh, that's so easy. No, they're exactly one pipe length away. I don't know what this is, but I'm assuming these are supposed to connect. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. Okay, and then that's good. We'll need to extend this pattern on the end, but other than that, I think it's good. So this should be oil. I think these are all oil, right? Yeah, these are all oil. Okay, and then connect them through. Are those the same inputs though? So we only made our build longer this way, so it should be fine. Like we just added 8 tiles in between the two lanes, so it should be good. Because we didn't mess with anything outside of that. Then we'll probably need to extend this one and this one. Bottom and top engines still aren't connected. No, they are not. Thank you. There we go. There we go. Now everything is connected in multiple points. That looks nicer to me. Or that looks manageable. Okay, so now this is equivalent to this top section, right? Yeah, so this is this. Okay. That is not lined up. These shouldn't connect, right? No. Most of these should not connect. Because it's now like 1 tile wider. Okay, now I think it's good. So this gives me a slightly wider power plant. We have up to 152. So this gives us 270 megawatts from the power plant before we get blue science. I think that's reasonable. One more pair on the left is needed. Which one did I miss? Oh, thank you. Let's keep that cool pattern. I don't know why the pattern's like that. Probably just because of where the curve was, and it just happened to make that pattern. Is this a water lane? Oh, this one is a water lane. Okay. Yeah, I hope this is all right. I feel like I should also... I should have a little bit more to the power plant. That before we switch to advanced oil, maybe? I don't know. I don't think there's really a world where I don't use advanced oil. So I guess it's really just a matter of if I need the direct feeding chem plants. But I feel like I should have one more on top of this that's just a standard power plant that's like 38 long using solid fuel belts. Like this. Because this could even be hand built if it really wanted to be. But I could give this coal, right? Actually, wait. How much does a coal lane supply? What tech level? So solid fuel is like plastic, or oil processing. So it's super early. Solid fuel from advanced oil is early blue science. It's the first blue science tech. But maybe I should have one standard one that can just pull coal. Like right here. Because they use a buffer system. I don't think we really need to rely on that though. Is it only 32? Okay. So if we did coal, it would be like an upgrade later. So maybe we could switch to solid fuel at some point. And that's instead what we call it. Honestly, realistically, this probably won't be using coal. It's just an option. Passing the water through, I think, actually does make more sense than going around for this one, though. So this should probably be, if we do use this one, it should be here. We can make it a one tile shorter if we stagger all the undergrounds. Is that worth it? I guess there's no down. Oh, it uses more undergrounds, so maybe it's not worth it. Yeah, it saves one tile but uses more undergrounds. Don't know if that's better. I feel like power is not a problem, so I shouldn't be concerned with this part, but we'll see. Better safe than sorry, right? In this case. I don't know why those don't connect. Oh, this one's higher up, that's why. Okay. This one also uses 2. So one of these could be coal, one of them could be solid fuel. Because we can do just a hand-built solid fuel plant. No problem. We just need an input prio, and one of these is coal. Just to get it started. That could work. Okay, so this gives us about 350 megawatts, I think, is what that amounts to. Yeah, we can get solid fuel from our base. It's just... it's actually not hard at all. Never mind. We can definitely get solid fuel from the base. It gets later supplemented by coal. That's weird. Why does it switch to coal later on? Or I guess it's not switching to coal, it's using both. But yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. It is incredibly easy to get solid fuel out of our base. We have 400 and no, sorry, we have like 900 chemical plants producing solid fuel. The weirder thing is that coal comes from the other side. Are some of the belts swapped? Where's coal? Like, is it that like coal comes down? Oh wait, I should probably look at power 3, right? Because if like coal comes from the top, I could see it making sense. Otherwise, I don't know. Okay. Because they browned out too many times before reactor heated up and fuel buffer started to run out. Is it just like a prio thing, though? I guess I don't really know what other side means in this case. Okay, so I think this is all right. This is two gigawatts of power. Each of our outposts takes like 500 megawatts, so this is more than enough. Oh yeah, I could just click farther down the line, huh? Which one? It would be the start to nuclear, right? This should have it. Wait, do they pass? No. They don't pass fuel cells on a coal belt, do they? Do they? They do. What? They pass the fuel cells on the coal belt? Oh, that's fantastic. From top right. Here? Is this the coal? Maybe I'm not understanding what other side is then. So this just looks like a buffer to me. Oh, okay, that's why I can't see it. Separate blueprint. I have no idea where it would be. I like how this doesn't help me at all. I'm just very curious. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll spike something. Oh, we definitely need we need to make patch blueprints. Those are really easy. Why do I? No, that's not something I should be worried about. Oh, I just realized we need a way to get solid fuel out of our base. I mean, I didn't just realize that, but I remember we need to power like a lot of miners with solid fuel, and we haven't set that up. Okay, so maybe I'd see it if I have the entire thing. Later, Derek did Derek. Okay, maybe if I look at Derek's one. Derek. Maybe his has it. Oh, this one's different. I don't think it has the whole thing either, though. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to distribute water, if I'm being honest. I want to cheat off their homework, but I can't make sense of it. Okay, so where is it? Power upgrade. Oh, is that the separate blueprint? Oh, I see. Yeah, we're not. There, we're definitely not using Anti's new power plant. Okay, I see it. So it comes around and then it like side loads with like a splitter or something that's in there. Or side loads with a underground that's already there. Something like that. I see. Okay, I get it. It it makes sense why it comes from the other side now that I've seen it, because like if it came from the front, the coal wouldn't go far enough, so you have to make sure the coal supplements halfway along it. And I guess that's an easier way to set it up than weaving it through the power, the water. Pumjacks. Pumjacks. I like that. Pumjack. I know it's just a typo, but I like it. Okay, so this is the final water, right? So can I spawn water here without breaking things? Shallow water works, right? Be a square or something. That's probably too big of a square, but oh, well, it'll work for now. So I think if I do the final nuclear, that should have everything. For Derek to use as a yellow belt for nuclear fuel instead of having to be... That's a lot less cursed. I mean, it obviously Nephraims and Anti have completed plenty of runs with theirs. It's just... The thought of that is just absolutely wild to me. Okay, so the issue is that you have to do this in stages. So that's going to make this a little bit harder to copy, right? So I guess I need to figure out how they actually build it. I'm assuming they have the landfill for one stage in the next stage. So the only thing that you really need to think about is this first one. This is for... This isn't for pumps, right? That's for the power if the power plant is still on a lake. Okay, I remember that one. It wouldn't be in power. It might be in nuclear one. This could have it. You start with the first one. It uses hazard concrete to check. This is how much water I need. I thought the hazard one was a completely different blueprint. Maybe I'm confusing that with the landfill one. So I start with this, and as long as all the red is on the water, we're good. Or do I go one off? I guess. Okay. Why didn't that work? How the heck? Oh, you can't place this because it's hazard concrete, not landfill. And then you place this one. Oh, this is okay. This is the other. Okay, this one goes in the other direction. Okay, that makes sense. This covers the lake. Because if the lake is like here and then the lake looks like that, you don't want your power plant to not be able to build. Okay, I get that. And then it starts. Oh gosh. I know you say use the power pole for alignments, but I don't see which ones at all. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that places most of them. And then, you know what would be a lot easier if I just put this blueprint book on the hotbar and just cycle through it. There we go. Okay, now it should be a lot easier to visualize. I feel like I didn't do this right. Now 90% won't be placed. Okay, that's what I thought. And yeah, the RoboPort makes a lot of sense once I get there. Okay, so what did I miss? What was the issue with that? Am I supposed to repaste that blueprint twice? That's the part that I can't figure out. Okay, so this goes there. And then we go to landfill. Wait, did I mess up the initial landfill? Is that the problem? Okay, then nuclear one. Oh, is it because I skipped nuclear one? Is that the problem? Nuclear one isn't in here, nuclear one is in here. Or power one. So then I switch to these blueprints. Okay. Right. I forgot it. I did not realize their staging happened that early. Ah, okay. Okay, I get it. So I can steal this spot. I now understand how they work. Thank you. No, okay. And then each one places the landfill from the previous stage. How did they build this in editor mode? Can you stage water in stage blueprint planning? Is that how it works? No? Huh. I don't know how they actually made that work. Maybe they just have to manually build water in every stage to make it work. You can stage, yeah, you can stage the landfill. That part makes sense to me. It's the water that doesn't. That's the part that confuses me. So it's really the question of how the heck did they do this in stage blueprint planning? There's some check in the menu on the left. This one? Or this one? Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Uh-oh. I can't undo that, I don't think. I don't know how to delete it. I'm sure it's fine. No, that's not right either. We didn't see that. Nothing happened there. Yeah. Okay, so this one include landfill. This one. So yeah, this part I get. They might build it by hand. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be that simple. Although I think if I do this, I think it works. I think it makes sense. I just have to manually build the lake. That is not in the same spot. I think it works, and I go and I place water in the wrong spot. Uh, oh, like the auto landfill mod? Because there's nothing built in that lets you just like build build stuff like landfill. But actually, I don't know if that would work. I don't think staged blueprint panning would be. So that's for taking blueprints. That has nothing to do with building. I guess if they're building exclusively with blueprints. Like if they build this off of water and they build this completely on water and then they like copy them. But that doesn't make it that placing things auto landfills. It just means if you make a blueprint, it adds landfill to it. But it doesn't solve the step that I am confused by, unfortunately. We'll figure it out. I think this is a good start, though. This lake is definitely oversized, but it does the job of getting us landfill tiles. Okay. So now we can go through, delete. We need to delete landfill, right? So we actually do need to clear this first stage using this. You can also make a save and just force a bit bigger lake. Well, the problem with making a save, it also doesn't put stuff on different stages. So maybe I would just be better off cloning instead of using the stage blueprint mod. That's always an option. That could be simpler. Oh geez. Uh-oh. Yikes. I think there might be ways to force the stage blueprint planning to use an actual map, but it doesn't like it. It's more of like a unintended workaround. Because I know Kobai was doing stuff with that when he did like any percent testing. Maybe it's officially supported now. It wasn't initially. Okay, so the first one is landfill. I'm assuming I don't actually have to place these on the edge, right? Like, that's just me being crazy. Yeah, I imagine that's not necessary. So they can probably just go wherever. And then after that, it is the first power plant. You know, I could just split them into their own blueprints, and this would be a lot simpler. Okay, I was immediately wrong. It does need to be on the edge. Now I know. We're learning. We need to kind of like remake this, because if we're gonna alter it, we need to understand how it works. Okay, this goes on the edge. Or is it supposed to go on the water? I feel like edge works. Yeah, edge should work. Did I build it too close? I don't think I did. Nah, it should be good. Should be fine. We can make a copy of main base. Yeah, if we just make a copy of them, I think we'll be better off. Okay, so this gets them... How much water? This gives them 6,000 water. No, 4,800 water, which is enough for how many steam engines? Oh, that's per minute. So we could do 2 of these off of that triple, and that would work. You've seen a bit of both depending on lane shake, but as long as it's placed right, it should be fine. Yeah, it just the first thing I did was place it wrong. But it looks like it's better to go farther into the lake than farther outside the lake. You would just need to possibly double click if you place it in the lake. Okay, so this part we can definitely just take for ours. So this part I think works. Spacing wise, we're going to have to add some more pumps. What? Interesting, interesting. Why did this not work? Huh. Interesting. New power. So it looks like today is just going to be figuring out how to use this mod in ways we haven't used it before. Cool. Hey, that's 5, 6, 7, and nuclear, sure. Maybe. I was hoping it would place landfill over them, but apparently not. So if I line this up, this should be that stage. So then I guess I can just manually... I can just manually double click. I guess that's all right. Okay, not the end of the world. The stage conflicts are insane. It does not like what I just did. This is not how they did it. There's no way this is how they did it, right? Let's see what happens if I press this. Yeah, I think clone tool probably would have been a better option and just work backwards and just copy things. The issue is I don't have my base is not the same size as theirs, so I don't know how well that would work. This mod hates tile play. That sounds... doesn't sound like a real thing. Okay, so power 2 would be stage 2. Okay, so we're gonna make this mod real angry and hope that everything works out. I don't see how that could possibly go wrong. I wonder how much... Okay, what if I work backwards? Maybe what I should do is only mess with the stuff outside of the lake and try to make sense of it there. Because what I could do is if I just cut off everything but this section, I can make the rest of it work. Well, I can possibly make the rest of it work. Yeah, this is... I mean, I know landfill, like, forcing the landfill, it must be very confusing for the mod. I just don't understand how to make it work in my favor. I feel like there's probably as much closer to using exactly 4,800, huh? No, it's not. Never mind. Oh, it uses 6,000 because that's the pump speed. Ah. No, never mind. I don't know. No, that's meaningless. Oh, that broke. That this hates this completely. Oh, it really doesn't like this. So if I have auto landfill on and I build this, I think everything breaks, right? How do I, let's see, export? Actually, it's been a while. How do I export? There we go. Oh yeah, right. There's a whole power plant. This has no landfill in it. I did not do it right. Cool. Huh. Don't know why it didn't add landfill then. Automatically set tiles before taking a blueprint. I've. Is it because I clicked an individual stage as opposed to blueprint book? Maybe it can only do that stuff with blueprint book. Okay, now it has landfill. It did add landfill? Am I just blind? No, this one's... Okay, so this one has no landfill. This one does have landfill. This one has landfill for everything. But that makes sense. We don't have anything built. Okay, so yeah, when we do the blueprint book, it works. Well, it might work. I don't know if it worked, but it potentially works. Look under the power plant stuff instead. Well, their stuff has landfill. I'm looking at the stuff that I created. When I used it, it didn't add landfill. This is, I think, from their blueprint. Maybe. Or maybe you just have to blueprint it twice. I don't know. Something's weird. I don't know what. 3,000, 6,000 just what it's easy to get with pipes connecting in one non-stop pump. Makes sense. Yeah, I guess there are beneath that. So why wasn't it instant is, I guess, the real question. I guess it's there now. Yeah, something happened to make it that it got added after this stage. I just don't know what. The fact that this is staged makes this so hard. Like, it's just not easy to adapt it to our power plant. But our power plant just burners suck. So we need to do direct fueling. It's just saturating an entire belt with burners is very, very rough. Which is why we don't want to use a belt for that. Hmm. And now there's... I just realized there's no water at all. Does it delete the water? Is there a way to just fake water? At least a new system. Yeah, the new fluid system. Okay, I feel like I should just delete everything over there and just forget about it and then work backwards. Ah, but I do need to get something I can mess with. It does not know. I haven't seen them design power plants before, but I thought they did it in the staged mods, so they must have just they just must know like how it works. Like obviously they make it work. So there's just something finicky that I don't understand. No. This section would be built entirely by bots. This is not a hand build portion. So we're trying to figure out the power plant right now, which requires a lot of water from a single lake, which they have figured out how to do in 100% the normal runs. So we're trying to copy their homework right now for that. but converting it to our lake is not as pleasant as I thought it would be. Okay, there shouldn't be any conflicts there unless I moved it after I change it. We're just going to delete this. But yeah, this is the non-hand built power plant. Bots are we need this section gives us power for right after bots, and then we switch to it's not technically nuclear power, but we do switch to steam turbines. We just don't switch to nuclear power because they're you can kind of see here a lot more compact. They save over this whole plant. They save like 200 tiles or something like that by using turbines. This isn't our first power plant ever. We'll have a couple power plants like this one that are built and connected just with regular pipes. But yeah, burner drills cannot mine those. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Okay, realistically, it doesn't matter the orientation right now. So I need to make this line up with this. Okay. What does that tell me? I'm not sure. We can also stage this a little bit differently, I think. Not entirely sure how we'll do that, but I mean, it's something that can be done. Why is their blueprint so messy? Is there a variation where the staging doesn't matter? Does anyone know? Because I know this lets you play with smaller lakes. But I feel like there's a world where I can just accept that I have to play with a slightly larger lake or just get like 10 less pumps. Because let's see, let's look at the final power. But because if there's a version that has less, we're fine. Let's see. So this has 115 pumps. This has 50% more power. This has 50% more water than we need. Actually, that gives me an idea. You think the power plant needs to be flipped to make water play nice? Could you elaborate? Also, we should probably save power plant staging. Yeah, I imagine there are some. I couldn't find the old blueprints. I looked a little bit, but they've been retired for a lot longer. Staged power plant version 1.0. But yeah, I don't know why I don't know why it would need to be flipped. If you're worried about water getting to advanced oil, it's on a separate pipe system. Is that the concern? As it stands for the water to play nice, the lake needs to be in the top right corner. Yes. And that is where I want it. It will be in the top right corner. That's how it is in the other runs too, or their runs. As it stands, water play nice. No, top right is correct. No, you were right the first time. Okay, I need to test something actually. We have the same power plant orientation as they do. We made sure that that was the same before we did stuff. Top left is, yeah, well, that's the thing. Oil processing is connected by two just unpumped pipes. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Oil processing is on a completely separate system. It's grabbed from the side of the lake. It has nothing to do with the pump system that we have. It doesn't steal water going through the plant. We considered it, then realized it was not a great idea. It makes it that you have to place your power plant like 50 more tiles from the lake, but you don't get much out of it. All you do is save like 20 pipes. Old offshore pumps might be staging problem. Yeah, that's what I'm. That's why I would want to lean towards it, because if it doesn't have staging problems, I can convert it to my base really, really easily. The staging of this is just not particularly. Yeah, it's a lot of work. But what I want to test right now is how many can I place if I just skip to the last stage. Come on, is that large? That is uncharted. Oops. Is this really not? Is this really a one tile range? That's wild. Okay, it should place some landfill this time, right? Why isn't it placing any landfill? Is there no landfill in that stage at all? Which one has the last landfill? This one has the last landfill. I'm just trying to be lazy right now. My thought process. Yeah, I did not place that right. My thought process is if I just place the final blueprint they have that has landfill in it, and I get enough offshore pumps, then we're good. That would be this one. We place this. $20. Well, that doesn't necessarily work. And then maybe we place the last one. Okay, this might be much more dependent on. I knew the order was dependent. I thought it only lost a third. It looks like it might lose almost all of it. Yeah, that's way more than a third. Wow, that is very, very messy. Okay. Okay, let's look at how these are distributed, though. I think the only problems are going to be the first one. Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. Even, like, these don't run. Wow. See, I would have been okay if we lost half of them, or, like, two-thirds of them, but that's not, it's not gonna work. I might just have to see if someone has an old version. Do you think Warger would have had the old version in his speedrun design guide? Because his is pretty old. His might have everything I need. Where is his blueprint shared? I'm assuming he has blueprint somewhere, or a blueprint link. There we go. Okay, let's try copying this, see if it works. It looks like it's basically 3 offshore power segment. Ah! It's just hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine a world where I have to care about lake size to the degree they do. So if I can remove the staging, everything just gets so much nicer. But let's see. I found Warger's old blueprints, so that might have a large enough power plant in it. So we're gonna test this real quick, and then I'll just ask someone and call it for the day. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Because I can't stream super long today. Okay, and then let's fill this. Okay. Warger's power plant. Because this is like a speedrun guide. I feel like if there's a speedrun guide power plant, it's not going to be that messy, right? That what the heck is this? What did it used to look like? I haven't seen this one. See, nuclear scale's crazy, but yours are close to the regular. which is using 3 per segment. Yeah. So like maybe I could just try to recreate it. Is that is that the vibe? I am looking at Wargers now though, and I see now why they redesigned it, because this is a much larger lake requirement. This still requires some staging, I think, but it placed 100. Wow, that's a much larger lake. I knew it was smaller. That's insane, though. Who made this design? I don't think it was entirely anti, right? Maybe it was. I'm not sure. Sorry, not who made this design. Who made the other design? Okay, now I just kind of want to see what his actually looks like, because maybe I can just take some ideas from theirs, and everything will be okay. What's happening? Oh, we have the wrong tiles placed. There we go. Okay, let's try doing their blueprints again. Okay, so we do landfill. Then we do power 1, power 2, because I haven't actually seen the whole design yet, I'm realizing now. So there might be a lot more I can do. Wait, why isn't this... Ah, the center point of these are all different. Yeah, I'm trying to see what theirs combines to. Because they try to get a rate of, I think, 6,000, or did they go for 12,000 per section? Okay. Oh, and that's when it starts having conflict. So that's up to 75. Okay, so this one right here, I see... It's really easy to get. Well, each blueprint does get bigger. Well, I just mean, like, what's their final pipe throughput? Like, this right here, I'm assuming is aiming for 12K, right? This right here is aiming for 12K. So if we do something... So if we aim for 12K and we'd aim for the second ones, that could work. You just wanted to force turn off Factorio on one save. It also forced to turn off the browser. Oof. Cursed inserter shenanigans? What cursed inserter shenanigans? We ain't got none of those yet. Not today. Today has been entirely pipe stuff. But yeah, looking at the old design, honestly, it doesn't seem any easier to adapt to ours. So we have 2 options. If we do 3 pipe segments of 3, they perfectly go into pairs. So pipe segment of 3 perfectly powers this. So then we need 1, 2... Well, this one's different. This one's connected by hand. 1, 2, 3... Is there a better way to count it? Yes, there is. So we would need 16 sections of 3 going into the power plant. The rest are coming off of the lake manually. Oh, you mean for the nuclear? Ah, this thing. Yes. Sorry, I was so focused on the pump. Yeah, don't look at those. I know why they do it. I think part of it has to do with how much is backed up on the belt, and another half has to do latency. And placing on a belt is more UPS efficient than placing on the floor, and it also prevents against trees causing issues. But boy, is it cursed. Okay, so they have 12K. So they combine, what, 2 groups of 3 into 1, and then another group of 3 into 1. Okay, so they turn 14,000 water into 12,000 water, basically. I don't know how pressure works out with that, but something along that line. So we could either do, let's see, um, we said 32, right? We can do groups of 5, and we could do, so we could do 6 groups of 12. Not 6 groups of 12. Wait, yeah, that would do 5, 5, 5. That would do 30. So here we could have these grouped into sections of 12. That seems too early to go for 12K. But yeah, we could go for sections of 12 here, or we can do sections of 3 all the way along, or sections of 2 all the way along. Sorry, sections of 5, not sections of 12. Basically, we turn 12K into 5 lanes, or we do 6K, no, 4,800 into 2 lanes 16 times. I wonder which one's easier. Let's see, is there any non-cursed way to do this if I just place landfill like a normal person? Because I feel like this shouldn't be that tricky, right? Like we can just do... Oh, never mind. Immediately wrong. They need the 12K because it's nuclear. I mean, I thought it was just to make it cross less pipes. Because the issue is, if I do 16 groups of 12, I have to have a row of 16 pipes in a row, which I guess isn't that bad. But this also just makes it that they need 3 times less rows, which I guess isn't, it's not that huge, so yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. So what is like the normal way I can place it? There is old state. Is it? It's not as old as like the larger one that I saw, right? Like if is there a version between that? Because I haven't really seen Anti's before he did the weird curse staging one. You keep saying that, but I mean power is power because they're producing 12 gigawatts. Like per watt, this is like 3 to 4 times worse, I think. Let's get that. Let's get that number actually. Okay, so this produces 1.8 divided by 60. So that's 0.03. So that's 30 kilowatts per water. Whereas a steam engine or a heat exchanger, this is from one earlier power plant version. Okay. This produces 10 divided by 103. Oh, come on. What is 10,103? Does that mean something to anybody? Anyway, it's 3 times more power per water. But when I type 10 over 103, it seems to be some police thing. Because it's not giving me the calculations. Yours may be worse, but the water consumption does shoot sky high with nuclear. I don't. Well, I feel like that's just a false. Is a false equivalency the right word? Old pipes. Let's see. But that's just saying like an electric base uses more iron, and that shoots the iron cost shoots up because you're using electric furnaces. But it's really just because they scale faster. It's that kind of causation. So it's related, but not a reason. Because you could also say the nuclear cost saves a lot of power. Okay, so you said this one doesn't have staging? Am I just dumb? Why didn't that place? Okay, so it doesn't have... It has some staging, but it doesn't look like the staging's significant. You had it, but no longer have... Oh, so like this is all you have of it. Honestly, this gives us... This gives us ideas. What the heck is this? I don't see any world where this can get out of here. Oh, that's a pump. Never mind. I thought that was an offshore pump. But yeah, I'm still very happy that our base is worse, so we don't need as much power or as much water. I wish we had nuclear because then we would only need like 20 to 30 pumps. But I am happy knowing we only need 70 because that's still much better. Maybe I can just like take the pattern because it kind of makes sense to me. Because I didn't really like see a vision. So if we do... It's like a pump in the middle. And then where's offshore pumps? Is there a better way to delete landfill in editor mode? Oh, that's not. That's... I'm just dumb. Okay. So this right here shouldn't have staging problems, right? So then I can do pump. So yeah, I think I can get enough from this kind of design. This is a design that you use when you just wanted to have achievements in vanilla after playing mods. Gotcha. Because we could probably keep it really simple and do something like this, right? Although I don't think we really need to do that. We just need to figure out what the issue is with the staging here. Because I don't know exactly why it's not working. Or maybe it is working. One of those per power segment should suffice. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's enough power per segment. The issue is I do want to try to keep it a little bit compact. So I need to figure out what pattern they have. What if... I guess I can just if I just cut off the top part that only has 2, everything's fine, right? Because this is the only stuff that's fine. No, not coal only. So we have... The only limitations we have are burner inserters, burner drills, and no electric furnaces. Solar panels, kind of we use them for the achievement. Logistic bots we can use to deliver to ourselves, but we can't use them to deliver to a chest to avoid having to get around burners. So those rules were just like, they seemed like a good balance between giving me some creative freedom, but not letting me just cheese things like tank production and stuff like that. So we're allowed bots, we're allowed construction bots and everything. Because if we didn't have construction bots, it just genuinely would be an incredibly unfun run and would have nothing interesting to it. We would make like 2 lanes of green chips, then we just walk away for 24 hours. Like, that is what we would do. We would make we'd make 1 science per second maybe, and then we would AFK. I wouldn't run it. That would be my solution. But by letting us do bots, we can actively play for 12 hours and go for an actually cool time. So that's why our rules aren't as strict as they could be with burner stuff, but it's a good balance to make the designs interesting. Okay, so it's really just the top half. Wait, what the heck is this one? Okay, so it's just the top half that for some reason has staging issues. That's fine. To be clear, questionable sanity runs can be fun. I mean, this is a questionable sanity run. I think this is very much a questionable sanity run. I don't think doing it without bots would be interesting in any way, though. I genuinely think it would not be fun to watch or do. how does this, what direction does this go? Oh, wait, can this be placed on the lake? No, but we can probably make it work. Yeah, there are all sorts of questionable sanity runs we do. Like we did no inserters at all. Yeah, so I don't mind that we're missing the 11. It's more that we're missing 11 and I need to know which ones those are. So that's what we're trying to figure out right now. Also, which orientation does this go? I'm confused by the original patch. You think you know what the staging issue? There's a trick where you can landfill an offshore pump and it might be losing offshores from that. Oh yeah, 100%. That's what the issue is. It's just this one I thought was designed without staging, so that's why I'm confused why this one's not working for those. Because I thought this one was stage free. But yeah, that's what the issue is with the other one. It allows them to get a few more in a smaller lake. I guess one thing I have to think about. Also, I should just save this. um, if I do design this around this many, I have to make sure I can do the entire lake. Maybe I can manually fix stuff by hand if I need it. Honestly, if some drop to like 2, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, we have 94 out of 105. It's we just need to know which ones have 3 and then we're good. We could do something like we could put another one here. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, so let's just keep it simple. Let's go through and delete everything that doesn't have 3 on it. And then we re-blueprint it and delete any extra landfill. Okay, so this one obviously useless. This one useless. This one useless. This one useless. Okay. So now we're down to 87. As long as we're above 70, this works. Okay, I don't think I see anything that isn't a 3 anymore. I know chat probably can't tell the difference between the two pumps. But I think we'll just have to trust that I can spot it. Should I delete the extra landfill so it makes more sense? I guess I don't really need to. Should all be. Yeah, it seems. Yeah, okay, I see it now. Yeah, it is a pretty easy pattern. Oh yeah, because it would have just been all of these ones. I'm assuming I can't do a landfill deconstruction, right? Yeah, no. I'm trying to think, how can we do that? Oh wait, here's what we can do. We copy it with the tiles, and then we repaste it. I don't know what I thought that would do. Wait, it can't do landfill though, can it? In my mind, that button that I just pressed functions a lot differently. But yeah, it can do tiles, but I don't think it can do landfill, right? It specifically can't do landfill. Oh, but it can do landfill because of uh, always. Okay, now I don't know why it's not working. What? How do I delete landfill? Yeah, I thought it couldn't do landfill because you can't deconstruct landfill. Oh, I could just whitelist a random thing. The thing that I'm confused by is why it isn't deleting any tiles at all. Only? What am I missing? Uh-huh. Okay, well, we have a solution, I think. There we go. Remove the entity. Well, we tried without an entity and it still didn't work. I mean, I still don't doubt I probably was doing something wrong. But I don't think it was that, at least. Okay, so this is 87 divided by 3. Okay, that gives me 29 lanes. Okay, so we're good. Yeah, I think this is good enough. Don't know what this stuff is. I imagine it did something. Okay, now we can start cooking stuff. Cooking stuff? We should probably leave the power poles. We should probably leave the roboport. Radar we can move. These power poles we should probably keep. We can move these down some, I think. Actually, I kind of want these to all be in line. It's fine. We can figure that out later. This doesn't make it across now. I don't know how we managed to delete that, but it doesn't make it across. Okay. So the only thing that can't get across are these 3 now. See, this design supported multiple 16 reactor setups, unlike one giant single one. That does explain why things are separated. Okay, we'll just do this. Oh, that's probably it. Yeah. We'll send it up because we might be able to use it for something. And it's something we can easily delete later if we decide we need it. Okay, this spacing works out perfectly though. Cool. That definitely took a lot longer than I thought it would, but the important thing is we're there. We got it. Let's add a little bit of landfill. Oh, that's not a pattern. I actually want to keep these on a pattern if I can. Okay. Now we delete the extra tiles with the water again. Cool. This'll work. This'll work. It has everything on the size we need. We'll have to figure out staging somehow, but we can figure that out a different day, I think. The important thing is we have something now that works. Possibly works, I guess, is an important distinction. But I think we can make this work with our power plant. So if we go here... Should I build the last stage first and then unstage it? That's probably better, right? Yeah, no, that's definitely easiest. Okay, so do I want this to go to my first power plant? Probably. Okay. I should have it rotated a different way. I think I should go to the other side of the lake. Oh well. We can worry about that later. So this would go down. Would that work? I don't know if I actually need that many pumps, but this does work. It just seems like it might be slightly unnecessary. And then we don't need to keep a full 6,000, which means we should be able to have segments like that. No problem. Let's see. Factorio fluid system. How many pipes can I have for 4,800? Never mind. It's 1. Wait, 1? Wait, 2 pipes drops it down to 3k? Does that mean this doesn't... Never mind, these are only 3k each. Never mind. Wait. This is 3600. This is 3600, right? So is this enough? This might not be enough. Still better to stage Lake a bit at the end before you get all those offshore pumps and pumps that can take a while. Yeah. Yeah, those will take a while to build. So we should definitely stage. It makes more sense to stage final stage and earlier, right? Rather than the other way around. Okay, so this is moving 300. Should I do something weird with tanks? I might have to do weird stuff with tanks. I'm realizing I was using the wrong number earlier. I was using 1.6, not 1.2 for these. So these are moving 3,000. This consumes 2,200. So we can send 800. So that means every 3 we can send spare somewhere else. That could work. You should include the extra water pumps for the oil processing, so that's part of the blueprint. Yeah, we can make those part of the blueprint, can't we? Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, I think our best bet is to have a tank and we send 800 spare fluid from every single one and combine them into one central point. Because this right here, 87 divided by 3 is not actually enough. It's really close, but it's not quite enough. So my idea was this. And then we have a prio. And then 2400 shouldn't have, it can't really go through that many with 2400, so we still need a ton of pumps like this. But then we would send this and we'd have logic, so this only runs if it's backed up. And then we do that 3 times, so that means these would be connected to pure pumps, and then this gets the extra. Unless someone sees a better way, but I think that works. Ooh, would this work? Chaining them together? That could cause problems. Well, actually, no, I don't think it would. Not entirely sure how to do this corner. um, but I'm sure there's a way. Would this work? No, because that's not one directional. This almost works, but not quite. I love the idea of chaining the tanks together, just space-wise, we don't have enough for that. I mean, okay, we do. Kind of, because this can probably work. It almost works. Is there another way to, like, shift a tile over by 1? I mean, I guess this works. This seems a little bit pricey this early on, but it is an option, technically. Oh, also that 32 number that I'm using, is it all of them? No, it's not including these 2. Because I wanted these to be... These are potentially connected by hand, but I'm not sure about that. Are you one of those 4K hour Factorio main max? Since I've been streaming pretty consistently for a couple years, probably. I don't actually know my hour count. I don't play through Steam. But that probably doesn't help my point, because I have 10 separate instances of Factorio that I alternate between depending on what I'm playing to keep them mods and saves separate. Which might be worse than just having 4K hours on Steam. This isn't that expensive in the grand scheme of things. Like, these are all pretty cheap, so this does work. Yeah, if you own it, I think if you own it on Steam, you can always download it on the website, or maybe it's the other way around. But I originally bought the game through the website, so I download it through that. But the advantage of doing it that way is that you can save it as a portable file instead of just like an install. And you can have completely separate instances that have separate achievements and separate mods and separate config files, which is really useful if you do challenge runs like I do that are on different versions of the game or different mods. It means it's a lot easier to start the stream and not have to mess with anything if I can just duplicate the instance, especially since I do a lot of things that require me to unbind keys or rebind them to use later. This works though. This feels really stupid, but it does work. I don't know how to do this curve, though. Is that how speedruns are done? Depends on the runner. Anti-Elites does it that way. For the 100% speedruns, there's just a button where you can delete all of your achievements. But, like, a lot of people have different instances for, like, segmented runs or speedrunning. Because if you want to do segmented runs, you can save a replay, but replays don't persist through versions. So if you wanted to do segments, then you never want the version to be updated. But if you don't update the game, it's not eligible for submissions. So that you can get around it. The separate instances are really just to make it easier to handle version numbers. I think, let's see, where is it? If you just go to Other, there's this button right here, which you can use in the main menu to delete all achievements. I hate how this works. I hate how this does what I want. Because it means I can almost justify keeping it. This one's a little bit annoying to get out of there, though. We definitely should have had this going a different way. 100% should not have had it going this direction. Actually, to the point where we should just decide that now and cut our losses and accept that it's oriented this way. So we can landfill, I guess we can landfill this whole thing. It might cause problems, but we'll see. Oh my gosh, that takes so long. What? What? Oh. I put too much landfill. Yo, thanks so much for the gift sub. Much appreciated. Enjoy your ad-free viewing and sock-themed emotes. Yo, you can use the rip run whenever I make a terrible... You can make the rip emote whenever I make a terrible decision. Because I definitely make those a lot. with some of my designs. Okay, so we can overlap the lake. I guess it depends where I want my base to be, but I think realistically we're overlapping the lake a little bit like this. And then this stuff right here needs 2,000 water, 1,200 water. Why do we have 2 pipes? Oh, because we need just under 2 pipes. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So that's reasonable. So that means we take these 3 that are going in different directions, and we send them here. And then these go up. So like every 10 minutes. Exactly. We can make it my most used emote of the month. Actually, that one usually is actually the most used for the month. I'm pretty happy with that one. Are you designing an integrated circuit? Oh, not the first comment I've had that about stuff like that. I've definitely had comments asking if I'm making a computer motherboard before on my VOD's channel. This is so close. I don't know if having a pipe in the middle would ruin it, so we should just move it down 2 tiles. Okay, this is low enough pressure that I think it works. Oh, that's how I can go 3 tiles. Oh. But yeah, not surprising at all, especially when you play in editor mode specifically, with the tiles in the background. It makes it look a much more, I don't know, robotic, I guess, than standard play. So this thing right here that lets us go through different stages is a mod. Stage blueprint planning. Most of the stuff I'm doing though, out most of the stuff I've done for the past hour has just been vanilla though. It's just specifically this blueprint planning thing. This stage blueprint one that isn't. I can make it that way. Yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah, we haven't been working with that one most of the day because the stage blueprint mod apparently does not like tiles, which complicates things a lot. Okay, so this would supply the first power plant, and then I want the extra to be sent here, I think works. What do you mean by stage? So this mod was specifically made for 100% speed runs for getting every achievement, where you start with all the blueprints, but you build them stage by stage. So it has features where, like, if I wanted to get assembling machines halfway through the run, I put it on stage 2, and then I can edit around it, and I know where it's going to conflict. And if I delete it here, or if I have it on an earlier stage here, and it stays on all of the stages. So it makes it so that way you can visualize your entire base, but break it up into smaller sections for bots to build, so that way they don't get overwhelmed. So it's just sections of the blueprint and the order you place them. I think this works. So this gives 3,000, this gives 3,000. So that does technically give enough. I feel like I should actually split it apart like this, which seems a little bit weird, but it does what I want. Okay. I think this works. So the idea here, these run if water's backed up. I think you only need to do like 1 tick, but yeah. That's not important. We'll just do water is greater than like 5K or something. Yeah, so whenever you export the mod, it outputs them to something like this. And then you can have like a unified reference point. Although I don't really know how to do that, but you can make it that it has like the same offset. So then you just line it up with the same blueprint every time. What you like is that we are just scraping old designs that are considered as inefficient now, but they're much easier to work around. Yeah, I just didn't see a world where we finish the power plant in less than a week if we try to use the new design. So it just seemed like a worthwhile trade. Okay, so the idea here, this gets 3,000 water, consumes 2,200 of that, sends the extra here, and then this doesn't have an input. This is missing an input. This needs another tank to split them. But other than that, the idea is sound. We just messed it up a little bit. But yeah, this is a slightly outdated blueprint, but the other one, the staging was too much of a mess to convert to a different plant when you don't really understand how they work. More stressed because I want to get this done before the expansion. So while I am looking forward to it, it limits how much time before I have to finish this. So yes, I am hyped, but on the other hand, I liked not being stressed about getting this done. It was much more relaxing. Okay, that works. Yeah, it technically works. But yeah, I think the expansion looks really fun. I haven't really been keeping up with most of the things. Anything that's like content related and not quality of life related, I'm not very aware of. But I think it looks like it'll be a lot of fun. So pumps don't have enough of a flow rate, or pumps can only move like a few thousand water if you have pipes in between them. So if you have a tank in between them, the flow rate, the maximum throw rate, is a little bit higher if you want to split it. So like what's happening here is that we have 3,000 water going into this tank, 3,000 going into this tank. We just didn't have a good way we can make this curve without a tank. We might be able to do it this way, but that's a little bit too high. This is another option. This one also works. So we need to make sure that there's no more than 2 pipes between each pump. If it's more than that and we need to make a curve, we need to combine it with a tank, so that way it counts as like not one pipe. And this sends surplus to this tank, and then this one sends its surplus to this tank. So that way we can get 2,400 here, 2,400 here, and 1,200 here out of 2 pipes of 3,000. So this is just weird connections to make it that 6,000 divides evenly into 1,200 5 times. Because without it, we would have needed a third pipe somewhere. And this just frees up 3,000 water we can use elsewhere now, because as Arthur's just mentioned, our design is inefficient, and we need all of the every boost we can get to make it better. And this is one of them. This saves 3 offshore pumps. Okay, now stuff like this should be a little bit easier. Well, I say that, but I don't know if I believe it. Do I need a tank going into this? Or can it go directly into the tank? I guess it won't affect anything. Let's see. You had to step away with a bit, but with the belt head power segment, since it's new, can't some boilers be cut from the rest of the segments? Yeah, we realistically don't need to have these up top anymore. Now, if we don't have the blueprint anymore. Yeah, realistically, we don't actually need those anymore. So they can probably be cut. Oh gosh, how did these line up? I don't know how much of the plant was cut off by the grid. Always pump into tanks? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't increase the cost by a ton, I guess. I think we have something here we can use as an alignment. But yeah, realistically, now that we have more boilers in the beginning, we probably... Okay, I don't know what that overrid, but it seems fine. Oh, it didn't like this. It didn't like that. Okay. But yeah, we can take one wall off, one segment off the end, probably. Do tanks have similar problems as pipes? Why not connect using only tanks? Tanks are expensive. So the issue with tanks is this versus this would be your options. To travel the same distance. And this costs, I forget what they are, like 100 steel? No, this costs 15 more steel and like 100 iron. Or 60 iron, whereas this costs like 10 iron. So this is like 5 times pricier for distance. Another option, yeah. If you want to make it less expensive. I think it can only handle 6,000. I don't know. Wait, can it handle 12,000 if you do pump boiler pump? But yeah, there is the more cursed option, which is the same idea, where you do this and you use the internal buffer of the boiler, which is a little bit higher than a pipe, so you can pump through it faster. Save some boilers to cut down on water requirements per segment, but if that doesn't work out, nice, then never mind. Oh, okay. Realistically, we would actually want to increase it, but I don't know if that has issues with flow rate. um, yeah, the ideal situation would actually be making it longer to use 3,000 rather than making it shorter. But yeah, pump boiler pump is like your cheapest option for moving a lot really fast. You can't go around curves with that, but it's quite fast. Like right here, I think that could work. It does. Oh, okay, that one is 12K. Pipes are a mystery for everyone. Nobody really understands them. But the nice thing is you don't really need to, fortunately, which helps a lot. I think I see what I have to do, but I don't like it. We'll see. Oh, is it only 9K? I mean, I don't know either way, so I'd believe either. I figured 12K because I think it can move the entire buffer per tick, which is 200. So I was thinking 200 times 60. Yes, expansion is supposed to overhaul a lot of the fluid system. I imagine that is going to be one of the things that is fixed. I don't know if I need these pumps here. I might be able to make do with this. I really don't know. But yeah, if it's changing like less than a month, it's not worth it. This might have high... Actually, this should have high enough pressure that it works out. So then this gets sent to that. Yes, okay. Now we're talking. We might actually use the pump boiler pump here. Not entirely sure. Oh, that's... Come on. Can you go one tile longer? That's so cruel. This might work. I don't know if that will work. Is joining 3 segments of 3 offshore pumps, which before you left was 3K each. Yeah, and this uses 2,400. So I guess it depends how you look at it. We can either make it shorter by 30% or longer by 25%. November Half-Life 3. Well, that's cruel. But there's also the small chance you're not lying. And that's why it's cruel. So yeah, I think for longer distances we'll use pump. We'll combine it into 12K. The pump 12K, pump boiler, or tank pump 12K. If we use any pipe in middle, it slows to 6K. Okay, I see. So this probably still has 6K. I mean, I guess we'll stress test this. I think any changes aren't going to be awful as long as we don't stage things. Okay, so the idea here, excess fuel always goes into a separate tank and then goes into the power plant, which this one might not need a tank here. Because this is only moving 800. Oh, wait, this is only moving 800. This doesn't have enough. Whoops. That is only moving 800. I said that multiple times just then. Yep, I forgot. We have to combine 3 into 1. Okay, so that would be this right here. It seems that Valve is cooking something for the 20th anniversary, which comes in November. People are speculating. Ah, okay, that makes more sense. This works actually. Oh, except then we need this extra. So this right here should be moving 1,600 right now, which according to the wiki is 5 pipe segments in a row. So this can actually go 2, which is nice. We do need a tank here. which I don't think is a problem. And then extra. Okay, honestly, this isn't awful. This doesn't use as many tanks as I was expecting. I feel like we still need higher standards, but it's fine. Okay, and then we can combine here. Okay. No, I like that. How do I make this curve? There has to be a better way, right? I don't know if this might work. I'm still not sure if that works. How do I stress test this? I guess is the real question. I don't know if that works. This might lose too much pressure around this corner. I don't think I've done... Well, no, I don't think it would. Because this is a length you make when you're just normally connecting them by hand. One pump should be fine. Or one pipe shouldn't block it. Yeah, if worst case scenario, I use a tank. We might have to shift it up one tile. But that's actually doable. It doesn't cause any loss in pressure, I don't think. How much was one side of boilers? It's a little under 2,400. I think it's closer to 2,200. 2,280. Honestly, would it be worth just extending this? I really didn't want to rebalance these, but if I rebalance the length of these and don't have to do this question, or if I don't have to do this every single time, that might just simplify things. No, I stopped running any percent about a year and a half ago. I just do challenge meme runs now, like beating the game without inserters, burner 100%, mouse only, stuff like that. But yeah, it might just be easier to switch it to a better number. I think this is a cool solution, but I think it's stupid. um, it's just we have to redo all of this, and I didn't want to do that. But redoing this is easier than redoing this because pressure isn't a problem here. It is here. So I guess we just go for a longer power plant. Not today. You decided you need a risk in the future? Yeah, something like that. I did really enjoy any percent. I think I'll get back into it in the expansion to some degree because I really wanted to make a controller base as like the design for people who just can't use mouse and keyboard as well. Because I could probably keep doing speedruns if I played with a controller. It's just the controller sport is stressful. You support better numbers, either 3K for each side or 3K combined. I think 3K for each side is a little bit easier to do. Because if we do 3K combined, we make our power plant like this much longer. Which is just really, really annoying to build around with a train later. But yeah, I do want to get back into something, but it would be a controller based like any percent design. It would not be competitive at all. But we'll see. There's also just a lot of stuff I already have planned after the expansion, so we'll see when I get to that. Because I might just keep doing this. This might not be a one-off run. I mean, we've spent like 200 hours on it. Yeah, hey, it will place. Wait, what's? Hold up. Top 100 easily. This is not very high, but I think sub 3 hours is pretty doable. I feel like with a lot of practice, I could probably do 2.5 with a dedicated controller base. So that would be like top 50. Yeah. Well, not this blueprint. All right, you just got here. This is just the power plant. Alternatively, what if we rebalance 3K into 2.4 and then pass it up? Isn't that what I'm doing right now? Or wait, what if we pass the extra water through at the end? Would that be easier? Like if we pass the water through at the end, then we don't need the tank logic. We would have to shift all of our refineries to the right. But that's a lot. That work? No, that works. Doesn't it? Oh, that might work. Can you get 3,000 water through a series of pumps, though? I haven't actually tested that. I'm assuming you can supply a chain of 50, but that might not be true. So this is the whole base. This is the power plant to supply it. It is about 1/5 of the size of the base. Uh, so to get every achievement, there are two achievements in particular that are really, 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 really hard to get without making a large base. So Tech Maniac and Minions. If you want those in less than 12 hours, you need at least like 12 of every science assembler, something like that. But that's if you just want to research for 12 hours. But you also need to get 20 million green chips, which is very difficult. Very, very, very difficult with burners. So this part of the base, this section, pretty much just this bottom half. So this goes towards research. Pretty much entirely towards research. A little bit of this stuff goes towards research, but mostly it's just this section. And that will give us all the research we need within about 6 hours. This section right here is solely devoted to making green chips, but it's not making the green chips. It's making the base that builds green chips. So we'll take this right here. We send everything on a train, which is, it's about, we need like 10 to 20,000 entities, I think, that we ship on a train to another patch of iron, which is a different save. We have to keep them separate because stage blueprint. Well, I mean, I actually don't have to. I don't know how to use stage blueprint. Yeah, it's not difficult. It's difficult to do it fast is a better way to phrase it. But yeah. Uh, yes, 100% is under 5 hours. We are using burner inserters though, so it's like 4 times slower. Burner inserters are really, really, really bad. But yeah, it's like 413, 414 these days. But they use electricity. But I don't have that command. But yeah, they use electricity, so it's just genuinely their inserters perform like 4 times better than ours. So that top half of the base produces the resources to produce this. So basically, the last 5 hours of my run is going to be what they can do in 1 hour because of burner inserters. Like that's how much of a loss we have with burner stuff. So they do their last outposting phase in like 2 hours or something. They get up to like 20 million green chips. We're getting up to 5 million green chips per hour before I think my computer is completely at its limits. And I can't really get a better computer unless they release a new chain. So, yeah, there's not much we can do to improve that phase past 5 hours. But yeah, this is what half of our base produces. We need to be able to produce one of these every 8 minutes. So about 6, 7 an hour. Yeah, we want to produce 7, 8 of these an hour over the course of 3 hours, and then we should be like an hour away from finishing at that point. So you're sending excess from 3K. You're thinking combine and redistribute before sending pipes up. But now that you think about it with fluids, that's probably going to be really annoying. Yeah, that's the issue. If we wanted to do that before, well, so the issue if we can't just do 2 offshore pumps instead of 3 because that's really space inefficient. So sure, that makes our math easier, but if we do 2 offshore pumps instead of 3, we can't get enough offshore pumps on the lake realistically because you're wasting much more of the patch, much more of the lake is being wasted on pipes and pumps that way. Like you need 50% more pumps. and that just means we need a larger lake. And I think I would rather do weird distribution mechanics than have to worry about lake size. But yeah, definitely an understatement of burners. I'm just estimating this is going to be about 12 to 16 hours. I think that's reasonable. That gives me about 7 to 8 hours to get my base up and running, and then like 6 to 8 hours of outposting. You're not convinced of that, but if you say so. Well, okay, they're that much worse, but the game isn't exponential. So if you produce if you want to go half as slow, you can produce like a quarter as much. So it's more like they're 8 times worse, but I only am 4 times slower is a better way to phrase it. Does the editor support modular building? A lot of blueprints consist of repeating patterns. Could be cool if you design one and just add references to it. I'm not sure what you mean. You mean like the stage blueprint? Well, okay, so the issue is like repeating patterns are great, but they're kind of inefficient. So we don't have repeating patterns that are that useful to use. Like there are repeating patterns, but if you want to make a base that's like optimized, you're probably not going to have a pattern that repeats very much. Like parts of it will repeat, but not enough of it to be that useful to have as like a specific tool of the blueprint. So like right here, this section technically repeats throughout this entire thing, but we have to make modifications to it in like 6 different locations. And then we'll just paste this 20 more times on 20 different patches. But yeah, you can do stuff like that in vanilla. You can just kind of paste these. Make your own grid. And then make modifications as needed. But because everything varies slightly every time we do something like that, we have to also fix things by hand. I imagine once we get the water thing done, once we figure out how we want to do the connections, I don't think the water is going to be that difficult to connect. I probably shouldn't say that, but I think we'll be able to find a pattern we can use once we're happy with the distribution. But that'll have to be for probably tomorrow. I don't think we'll be in SpaceX tomorrow. I think we need to work on the power plant because we got a lot less done than I would have liked. Because we spent most of it just trying to figure out how much water we needed. I like the idea of that because it spells POW. Wait, so is your idea to use like no pumps? I don't know the idea there. But yeah, if you have like a pattern, you can always share blueprints in my Discord. I have to wrap it up here. I have somewhere to be tonight. Honestly, spent more time on that than I should have today. Probably a bad idea, but well, it's too late now, so it's fine. I will be just doing tests of the blueprint. I'll just be doing a lot of staging tests where I just make sure every stage runs individually. And we'll just have... But no, it's not like... I won't have like anyone else specifically looking for them. But, I mean, people will be there to point it out when there is a mistake. Yeah, space efficiency does matter because we need to be able to fit... We still need to be able to fit 90 on a single lake. But that's it for me today. Hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.